Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to read how to read economics effectively for this coming UPSC Prelims 2026 examination. So most of the time students, what I have been observing is that when it comes to mentorship, students are finding it very difficult in economic segment. And this particular video is going to solve most of your problems, challenges, and it will provide a clear strategy how to approach this coming UPSC Prelims 2026 examination, especially the economic segment. So as part of the video, we'll be initially discussing the book list. When it comes to book list, we'll be covering what are the must-read NCERTs because new NCERTs has been now came out in the market, and we will be discussing what are those selective chapters we need to read and cover from the new NCERTs. With respect to textbooks, we will be suggesting what is the best book we can usually take it for prelims as well as for the mains examination. And when it comes to question paper analysis, we'll be doing the UPSC Prelims 2025 economic questions analysis, and we will also look at the pattern of the economic questions in the last 10 years, and we will also observe what are the recent trend change when it comes to economic segment and what strategy you can adapt for the next UPSC prelims, that is 2026 examination. So first let's look at the must read NCERT. When it comes to 6th standard NCERT, Exploring Society, India and Beyond, you need to cover the theme E, Economic Life Around Us, the chapter number 13 and 14. Now coming to the 7th standard NCERT, Exploring Society, India and Beyond, here you need to cover the theme E, Economic Life Around Us, chapter number 11 and chapter number 12. Now coming to the 8th standard NCERT, that is Exploring Society, India and Beyond, here the theme E chapter 7 can be covered. Now coming to the 9th standard NCERT, here you need to read the complete book, but what is my sincere suggestion would be give maximum weightage to the chapter number 3 and 4, Poverty and Food Security, which are not only important for prelims but also for mains examination. Now coming to the 10th standard NCERT, Understanding Economic Development, kindly read all the chapters and try to make notes because this will be asked in the UPSC Prelims examination, many concepts here. Now this 11th standard NCERT, I would say this is the most important and heartbeat of your total NCERT preparation. So try to cover this NCERT book in a holistic manner, try to make notes and try to revise effectively because this book will help you not only in prelims as well as in the mains examination. Now coming to the 12th standard NCERT book, macroeconomics book, you need to cover most of the chapters which has been given here, but give maximum weightage to the balance of payment chapter. There is a last chapter and money and banking chapter, and because here most of the questions has been asked like in the UPSC preliminary examination, but in the last year some questions has been asked from fiscal policy, that is the government budget and economy. Here based on the receipts and deficit concept, lot of questions has been asked in the last year examination, so give maximum weightage to these chapters and then cover the remaining chapters as well. Now coming to the 12th standard microeconomics book, here my sincere suggestion would be what you have to do is you need to read only the summary which is given at the end of each of the chapter. While reading the summary, my sincere suggestion would be try to look at the terminologies which are given there, try to make notes and definitions and value addition from that because UPSC has asked a lot of questions from the terminology in the past. After covering the summaries, try to read the box column which has been given in most of the chapters. These two are essentially enough for the microeconomics book. Now coming to the textbook which we need to read for the UPSC preliminary examination is that students, what I have been observing is most of the students are generally reading Shankar Ganesh book. I would be saying this is a very good book for beginners to understand what is the basic concept of economics. But when it comes to applied economics concept, this book won't be helpful for prelims as well as in mains examination. Most of the topics are not given. So kindly ignore this book. Suppose if you would have already read this particular book, means try to do value addition from this Sriram IS book. Now another book which most of the students are reading is Sanjeev Verma book. Here also this book is only useful for prelims and not for mains examination. Other popular books in the market are Ramesh Singh book. Ramesh Singh book, what is the problem is that it is containing encyclopedia of information and lot of facts are given, concepts are very few. So I won't be suggesting to my students to read this particular book as well. And one of the other popular book which is available with students is that Mronal book, the notes as well as the videos which students are referring. Again here what is the problem is he has covered the concepts in a good manner. But what is the problem is he has covered it in a comprehensive and most lengthy manner which it takes difficult for students to complete the preparation on time. So my sincere suggestion would be stick to this Sriram IAS economics book. This will be useful not only for your prelims examination but also for mains examination. Additionally, what you can do is there is a website called upscfreematerials.org. This website is going to provide you lot of notes free of cost. Here what you should do is try to download this Sriram IAS classroom material PDF, which is available for free. Try to download that, because this classroom material here concepts are given even in a simpler manner than the textbook. So try to cover the PDF first, then selectively do the value addition, especially the data from this textbook. This is what you can do when it comes to UPSC Prelims and Mains examination, as it is the best material which is available in the market. Now we will look at the question paper analysis of 2025 economic segment. This particular question is picked from money market and capital market chapter, which is very important for preliminary examination. This particular question on Reserve Bank of India is picked from banking chapter. Again, it is very important for UPSC preliminary examination. Again, one more question on banking chapter they have asked it by here, but here what you need to understand is you need to have a good conceptual clarity. What are the basic regulations of SEBI and RBI? If you know this concept clarity, then you can easily answer this question. That's why I'm telling, whenever you are reading economics, you should know what are the most important chapters or topics you should read, and then you should also give maximum weightage to the concept clarity, not on the road learning or memorization of facts. Now coming to the fourth question, this particular question is also basic question you can answer by looking at reading the 12th standard NCERTs. Coming to the fifth question, so this particular question is again picked from the money market and capital market chapter. Now coming to the sixth question, here they have again asked one more question on money market and capital market chapter. Now coming to the seventh question, the circular economic concept is available in basic NCERTs of 10th standard. You can easily answer this question. Now coming to the eighth question, that is a capital receipts question. This question is directly picked from your 12th standard macroeconomics book. That's why I said that macroeconomics book is very important. You need to make notes out of it. Now coming to the ninth question, again this question is picked from your macroeconomics, especially on the government budget chapter. Now coming to the 10th question, this is again a repetitive question from the same macroeconomics book of government budget chapter. So almost 3-4 questions are picked from the same chapter and from the same book. That's why I've been telling the role of NCERT, how much it is crucial for cracking the preliminary examination. Now coming to the 11th standard, there is a 11th question, a question on international economic institutions. Especially you need to give maximum weightage to World Bank, IMF and other economic organizations for preliminary examination, where repetitive questions has been asked in the past. Now coming to this particular question, the basic difference between RTGS and NEFT. This is a particular theme which has been asked from digital currency and digital transactions. You need to have a clear concept clarity and you need to make notes on this particular chapter, because this is an emerging topic, and from Sriram IAS book this particular concept has been given in a good manner. You can cover from that as well. Now coming to the 13th question, here they have asked about again a digital currency concept of UPI only, but this is a current affairs information. That's why I've been telling to my students, economics, what is the challenge is that you need to read NCERT, you need to read the textbook, and you need to have a good command over the current affairs which are coming, especially related to the concepts what you are reading, and try to make notes out of it, because from that 1 or 2 questions will be asked in the examination. And now coming to the 14th question, here they have asked a question on 15th Finance Commission. This Finance Commission recommendation is a very important theme of UPSC preliminary examination, which they have asked multiple times in the exam. Now let students look at the trend analysis of economic questions in the last 10 years. If you look at the questions, the minimum number of questions is 14 only. That has been asked this year. Another year is 2022, they have asked 14 questions. But the maximum number of questions they have asked in 2017, almost 25 questions. So what we can expect for 2026 examination is, we can minimum expect 14 questions from this economic segment, and we know what are the important chapters to read also. If you look at the 2025 preliminary, especially the question paper, banking and monetary policy, lot of questions has been asked, and then government securities and financial market, digital economy and currency concepts, and in the past they have asked questions on CSIR concept, land reforms, capital, especially the fixed capital and working capital, sectors of economy, primary, secondary, tertiary basic concepts, financial instruments, especially on the money market and capital market questions, and external sector. Here you need to give maximum weightage to the BOP component. You need to have a good clarity here, questions will be asked. So what is the strategy you can adopt for 2026 examination is that, students, please try to make a list of these particular chapters. I have given almost 10 chapters here. try to cover this one by one in this order only, because fiscal policy in the UPSC 2025 exam, lot of questions has been asked. In the past also, from monetary policy, lot of questions has been asked. When it comes to banking, try to give maximum weightage to the RBI functions and its instruments where lot of questions has been asked. And from money market and capital market, minimum you can expect 2 to 3 questions. And from international economic institutions, after covering World Bank and IMF, try to cover other financial institutions which are in use. Reports and indices, try to have a recent data of the reports and ranking of India when it comes to international organizations. And try to cover the basic concepts of inflation, poverty, unemployment, which are the current economic challenges. And additionally, while covering the national income accounting, try to have a good concept coverage of GDP, and then what is the concept of national income. All these concepts, try to have a good look at it and try to make notes out of it, students. I hope if you prepare in this order and if you give maximum weightage to these chapters, then you will be easily cracking almost most of the questions which are asked from economics segment. And economics will not be a difficult thing, rather it will be a cakewalk if you go with this correct strategy, students. Additionally, if you have any other doubts when it comes to covering economics, you can comment your doubts. I will try to give feedback on that. Thank you, students.